I'm not going to be able to stay here long because this fire is spreading, but everything behind me right now is the forest that I've been working to protect for the last 13 years. It's burning like this every day.
O problema é mais grave na Amazônia. As chamas se espalham e destroem a floresta. Tempo seco, vento e calor. Esse é o combustível das queimadas.
Estou fazendo aqui o que quer dizer uma falsidade com a gente, né? Com a natureza também. É uma calação de vida, assim.
Right now in the Amazon, they're seeing dramatic increase in the number of wildfires. Most of these fires are concentrated in a particular region of the Amazon.
Não destruição, né? Essas aves, todas elas tinham vida. Elas precisavam de estar tudo vivas, né? Cada uma no seu lugar.
There are literally millions of animals in this forest that cannot escape right now. And if you think our planet can survive this every day in the Amazon, you have another thing coming.
There are many issues that are prevalent in the world today, albeit poverty, true gender equality, racism, perhaps even government corruption. But none of these issues quite compare to climate change and the impacts that it has today. Every single human on this planet is directly affected by climate change, whether it's due to the economy, a paradigm shift in the weather, or the inevitable rise in sea levels. An issue to arise in very recent years is the Amazon rainforest and how its luscious greenery is being burned to the ground at an ever-alarming rate. And don't let your suspicions downplay what is happening. The Amazon rainforest is dying, and it will affect us all if no long-term goals are put in place. According to Greenpeace International, an organisation dedicated to raising awareness of climate change, states that in 2019, from January to June alone, 27,814 separate fires were detected in the Amazon. That's the largest number ever recorded, and it is 81% above the historical average. Evidently, more fires are starting in the Amazon, and they're not all accidental. Deforestation in the Amazon contributes to 30% of Brazil's annual greenhouse gas emissions, and furthermore, between 40 and 50% of carbon gas released from these fires are directly released into the atmosphere, directly impacting climate change. Evidently, from 1979 to 2013, the annual fire season in the Amazon has increased by 18.7%. Less water can be evaporated into the atmosphere with all these raging fires, causing droughts to increase and less food to be grown. The ecosystem has become so vulnerable in the Amazon, and according to NASA's research, droughts that are supposed to occur once every 100 years have happened 3 times in the past 15 years. Make no mistake, the Amazon is under threat, and we don't just need these facts to realize it goes against human moral codes. The United Declaration of Human Rights and Catholic social teachings reveal just as many facts in relation to the issues that are going on in the Amazon rainforest. Related to many of the alarming facts about the Amazon, these religious and human rights articles can directly support the fight against this destruction of the Amazon. In many hopes, these relatively old articles may help people in a position of power to gain a keen eye on the issues at hand. Look no further than Catholic social teaching solidarity, for instance. We are all one family, whatever our national, racial, ethnic, economic, or ideological differences. As a single race living on a single planet, we should introduce shared interests, objectives, standards, and sympathies. For example, when trees are slaughtered in the US, it reduces oxygen for the people of that country. But it also reduces the oxygen for those who live in China, Russia, North Korea, or Canada. Oxygen is a shared resource and cannot be divided. Therefore, there should be a shared interest among nations to protect this precious resource. Conservational group named Conservation International very much screams global cooperation. This group shares many worries about deforestation and global warming, and in particular, this group calls for the deserved fundamental benefits of all humans across the globe. In recent discussion, Conservation International has been in the front lines of the issue present in the Amazon rainforest. United Declaration of Human Rights, Article 25, named Right to Adequate Living Standard, shares its ideology to create prosperity for all humans. Every human is entitled to adequate living standards, but the slaughter of trees and reduction in oxygen will eventually lead to a poorer standard of living. Issues must be addressed before they become an actual threat, and at this current rate, it will become a significant threat if it is not properly dealt with. Increased pollution, subpar oxygen levels, and change of weather patterns may lead to a lifelong health problem, severely damaging a human's right to adequate living standards. Moreover, many of these articles can potentially be linked to organisations who are attempting to prevent the fires in the Amazon. Amazon Watch is a non-profit organisation that centres its fundamental goal around the protection of the Amazon rainforest, as well as defending the rights of indigenous people in the Amazon basin. Though founded in 1996, Amazon Watch has become increasingly more popular with the recent revelations about the particular destruction of this rainforest. Further in particular, the movement in which Amazon Watch is very much part of is the protection of indigenous peoples and their ancient homeland. On September 26, 2019, Amazon Watch put forward a video and blog describing their pleas to protect the land for indigenous people. This harm to the people of the Amazon can be found across a number of social media platforms, but an outstanding video distributed by Sunrise Movement on Twitter reveals the emotional desperation of an indigenous woman bearing the flames. I'll share that to you now.
Olha o que eles fizeram com a nossa reserva. 2 anos que a gente estava lutando para preservar isso aqui. E agora
For 2 years, we fought to preserve our reservation, and these a-holes came in and burned it down. They are killing our rivers, our source of life. Now they have set our reserve on fire. Tomorrow we are closing the roads, and I want all media to hear and see this. This video reveals the true outcries of those who have been suppressed in the Amazon. These people are not being treated with true respect. In direct correlation with these issues that are currently happening in the Amazon, United Declaration of Human Rights, Article 17, titled Right to Own Property, is a basic human right that goes directly against what is happening in the Amazon. Every human is entitled to the ownership of land or a dwelling. In Brazil, through natives losing the heritage of their homeland, as generations of inhabitancy is lost with the burning of the rainforest. These people are clearly not being treated properly and are not respected with their cultural ownership of the land. Furthermore, a Catholic social teaching titled Rights and Responsibilities refers to the basic fact that every human requires a basic level of decency and respect. How are the indigenous people of the Amazon being neglected? How is this fair? Well, it's not fair. And when it comes to real-world issues, something will typically gain traction if it affects the person who is getting worked up over it. For example, the Amazon rainforest has experienced destruction and arson since the 1970s, but it only now is becoming a real-world problem when people realize that it might actually affect the people they love and themselves. There is a level of hypocrisy when it comes to these issues, so the articles Right to Own Property and Rights and Responsibilities should hopefully teach people to not just care about themselves. And what will you do to solve the issue? Sure, you could put up a post and state how cruel it all is, but the solution is in your actions. Our world is riddled with social injustice, but these Catholic social teachings and United Declaration of Human Rights articles are to be a catalyst and project our way of thinking well into the future. It really isn't complicating. We have these fundamental ways of living right in front of us. The future is inevitable, and the question we should be asking ourselves is, what sort of world do we want to live in?